tremendous front four, led by Robert Quinn and Aaron Donald. There will be plays to be made downfield. When we flip it over to St. Louis, though, the head coach Jeff Fisher doesn't seem concerned that his team's 1-2. In fact, he said to us, the Cardinals have to play us as well. So there's a lot of bravado coming from St. Louis, a team that has struggled to accumulate victories through the past years. This ought to be a heck of a game.
Let's check in downstairs with Tony.
Thanks, Tommy. You know, the Rams have one of the best defensive fronts in the NFL. The guys up front lead the league in sacks with 13. For this team, the defense is not the problem. The offense is the big question mark. They need to find a way to be more consistent with that run game. Today we're going to see rookie Todd Gurley get his first start. Who knows, maybe he is the spark that can help ignite this offense for the Rams.
Tony, I know we're celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I have to ask you, is that more of the French look down there today where perhaps you should be sporting a beret, or is it a Western look today?
This is a combination. It's sort of my own look there. My neck was looking a little big, so I wanted to get something to cover it up.
You look very deft.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
In a minute, he's going to ask, what's my motivation?
Cardinals have won the toss, elected to receive, and this is David Johnson. He's run back one for a touchdown already this year, but the ball is loose. And on the opening kickoff, Arizona fumbles it away, and the Rams are in business inside the 20. That ball was stripped out of there by Mark Barrett. And it looks like it is recovered by Darren Bates.
And Darren Bates is one of their leaders in special teams. He's been out for a little bit during the season with a knee injury. And Mark Barrett, known as a blitzing, aggressive defensive back, carries it over to special teams with a strip of David Johnson. And the St. Louis Rams, who have struggled to score points in the last 2 weeks, are in business early with a chance to get up on the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, you're not lying about that. They have scored a total of 16 points in their last 2 games. Both of them losses after a season-opening stunning overtime win against Seattle. So the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles, dumps it off out of the backfield, and this is Gurley. 10th pick overall in the first round. Gurley out of Georgia, come all the way back from an ACL injury. Foles traded for Sam Bradford in March, a Pro Bowler in 2013 with Philadelphia. Played through, missing over half the year with a broken collarbone last year. But has been a pretty effective quarterback in a short amount of time.
The Pro Bowl year, 27 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He does an excellent job of taking care of the football.
The tight end in motion. They'll hand it to Gurley. And he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Deion Buchanan. This is a speedy Arizona secondary.
Deion Buchanan, look at this. He's all the way back here playing really a combination safety linebacker. Actually had the wrong guy at 26 there, circled Rashad Johnson. Is really Buchanan, who was playing up closer to the line of scrimmage, who shot the gap and made the play. Listed as a safety, he makes most of his plays as a linebacker.
4 for 22. The last 2 weeks are the Rams on 3rd down. Good protection. It's a first down. It is a touchdown to Tavon Austin. So the Rams take advantage of the fumble on the opening kickoff by David Johnson and cash in with a touchdown. The first time all year Arizona has trailed in a game.
And when I was talking with the Rams in pregame, all they talked about was, can we get up on top of them and have Arizona be a little more uncomfortable, being able to put them in a spot they haven't been in all season. And Tavon Austin, out of the bunch formation, comes across the middle of the field on a shallow cross. Foles hits him, and Austin puts the Rams ahead.
The first points in the opening quarter of a game so far this year by the Rams. Greg Zuerlein, their kicker. Out of the hold of punter Johnny Hecker. Good snap, good hold. And through the first 3 games and first possession, it's the first time this year the Cardinals are behind on the scoreboard.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Replay, 17 yards, a big third down conversion, and after the fumble by Johnson on the opening kickoff, Javon Austin, the touchdown reception. His throw from Nick Foles. Now Johnson will try and hang on to the football, although it's back out through the end zone. Carson Palmer, his 13th year out of the University of Southern California, has won 9 consecutive starts, something no Cardinal quarterback has done since Ray Maloof won 10 in a row all the way back in 1948. They thought they would have Andre Ellington back this week. He is inactive. So Chris Johnson, coming off a 100-yard rushing game, is the lone setback. And he'll get the ball with nowhere to go. First start all year long at left guard for the Pro Bowler Mike Iupati. They brought him in as a big-ticket free agent during the offseason. And what an unbelievable start. The best in the Hall of Fame career of Larry Fitzgerald. 23 catches, back-to-back 100-yard receiving games. Fitzgerald has as many touchdowns as the Rams have this season coming into the game today. Put it in the hands of Brown. And that's a first down up across the 30. Now the Rams on defense, I mean, the overall numbers look very good. They're 9th in total defense. We know about the dynamic front four. Donald, Long, Quinn, and Brockers. Laurinaitis, a captain of the team at middle linebacker. And in the secondary, Jenkins certainly on his way to a Pro Bowl one day. Having said all that, Charles, they have been unable to stop teams regularly on third down.
Third down has hurt them. The percentage is almost 50% for teams against them, and they haven't taken the ball away enough yet.
Great protection on first down. You give Palmer that protection, he will chew you up and spit you out. And a completion up to the 46-yard line again to Brown.
You know what, guys? You talked about Larry and his receptions. Take a look at him down here at the bottom of the screen with the block on a defensive lineman. Boom! I mean, not only does Larry Fitzgerald go and make catches, this is what he does. He is a team player. Look at that.
And that's the second in a row, Tony, because on the screen, on the wide receiver screen, he threw the block for John Brown and let him sprung outside.
By the way, that was Robert Quinn he just knocked over.
Only a back-to-back Pro Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Palmer in trouble. And he's dropped for a sack. A loss of a yard. Lamarcus Joyner coming up from the cornerback position to get him. Now you can say it's only the second sack, but Charles, we saw the Cardinals last week. Cardinals quarterback Palmer got hit a lot.
He's gotten hit a lot, which has necessitated some changes in their lineup. Remember, Earl Watford was starting at right tackle, and we thought he was playing well, but they said he was getting hit a lot from his side, so they moved Bobby Massey in after suspension. Iupati's back up that you've noted today. They need Iupati and number 61, Jonathan Cooper, to be able to handle Aaron Donald inside. But you saw Greg Williams with his answer to the last couple completions. Extra pressure at Carson Palmer.
Only a three-man rush. And a big hit, and the ball is loose, and somehow, some way, it looked like Gresham got it back. Boy, did he take a hit from Janoris Jenkins. Incomplete pass, they're saying now.
I know it's early in the game, Tony, but it seems to me that the Rams are setting the tone with the hitting.
Oh, they are on defense. You know, Greg Williams, we talked about him earlier, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. He loves to be in the position of being ahead. This way he could take more chances. He's a gunslinger now, guys.
No doubt about that. They got a couple completions. They brought extra pressure. And then now that play, Janoris Jenkins with the big hit caused the incompletion.
3rd and 11 again, only a three-man rush, but blown dead before it ever got started.
Might have made him jumpy. Might have gotten jumpy, Tom.
False start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's a name you just mentioned after being suspended the first 2 games of the year. Bobby Massey from a DUI right around the time they had the Super Bowl out here. His first game eligible last week, and he started.
And they brought him right in because he's a better pass protector. And one of the things you note, and depending on what happens here, we'll get back to it during the game. I'm going to ask Tony, how jumpy can you make people when you're known as great pass rushers, when an offensive line knows that's your reputation?
Four-man rush this time. And Palmer is sacked for the second time in the opening quarter. Chris Long got him. Long healthy again after that foot injury the opening game a season ago.
Long's here. Watch as he's going to loop. Come and look at him going upfield. Great job. Just stays patient and works his way through. Bobby Massey, 70. Jonathan Cooper, 61. And because he had enough time to do that, what does that tell you? The coverage downfield was excellent.
So all of a sudden, this Cardinal team looks mortal. Very short punt, but it takes an Arizona bounce. And dribbles inside the 25-yard line. So here we've had a fumble by Arizona. They're behind for the first time, and their quarterback sacked twice on this possession.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Rams on the road with the football and a 7-0 lead. Beginning this drive from their own 23-yard line. They put it in the hands of Tavon Austin. And a pretty good pickup on first down of close to 7. And we check in for the first time today back in L.A. with Mike Hill.
All right, guys, Packers trying to remain unbeaten, taking on the Niners. Check out Aaron Rodgers, vintage. Look at him navigate this pocket. Rolling out, finds Richard Rodgers, 9-yard TD pass. That boy good. Tom, Charles, back to you, 7-0 Packers.
Indeed he is, Mike Hill. Indeed he is.
Well, we saw those 49ers a week ago, Charles. That was under.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers always has a chip for taking on the 49ers.
Foles just throws it into the ground. In hot pursuit, knocking him off his feet is Alex Okafor.
We've already seen Tavon Austin touch it twice now for the Rams. His number has to be 10 or more today to give them an opportunity to allow him to make big plays. He's a playmaker, but they're not quite sure where, from what spot. Tailback, slot, wide receiver. Let's see how often he touches it during the course of this game.
Eddie Cunningham is checked into the backfield. You saw Austin on a 3rd down and 2 is not even in the game. Blitz coming. And Foles sacked back to the 20-yard line by the kid from Missouri. Marcus Golden. Campbell was there as well.
Marcus Golden, number 4. Just look in the middle here, okay? Because that's where the pressure's all coming. They show it, they drop a few people. Golden up the middle. Calais Campbell's there, 93. Here's Golden, 44. They confused the blocking pattern and just sifted through and got to them.
The 3 and out this time around for the Rams. And Becker to Peterson. He's turned in many big moments against this Rams team and shot down at the 33-yard line. So the kid from Mizzou coming up with a big 3rd down sack.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Burger King. Kick off fall with a new Oreo Pumpkin Spice Shake. And by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
3-0 start, 126 points scored, most in the NFL. But on their first possession offensively, Carson Palmer sacked just 1 time the first 89 throws of the year. Dropped twice by the team which leads now the NFL in sacks. Johnson, some nifty running, and we saw plenty of that last week. His first start as a Cardinal, 110 rushing yards. Remember last year, week 10, Palmer took a hit from Mark Barron. Torn ACL out for the year. Week 15, the man who replaced him, Stanton, partially torn ACL after getting sacked by Aaron Donald.
This is a Rams unit that is known for their pressure against quarterbacks. And the Arizona Cardinals felt that indeed last year.
Johnson again, and maybe a yard, wrapped up by Alec Ogletree, who has 33 tackles in the last 2 games.
Real active run and chase linebacker. In last series, we started this. Tony, when you were playing and you were putting pressure on a quarterback, could you see some offensive lines react to your guys' reputation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think intimidation is a big factor, especially watching film all week, watching what they did last week. Both of these teams know each other very well. And obviously they're prepared for it. Both of these defensive lines, great competition going on back and forth.
Up the left side. And this time it is Ethan Westbrooks who wraps up Johnson. A manageable 3rd down. We'll call it 5. Or we'll call it 6. Spot not as favorable.
And I think the Rams like what they're seeing in terms of the first 2 downs, winning those downs to get them to the 3rd and 6. And let's see what Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator for St. Louis, decides to dial up and see if he wants to get after Palmer that way.
We're going to call it 3rd and 7. He spotted that ball actually in the 49-yard line. Well, here they come. Palmer swings it into the flat. Big hit, but staying on his feet this time. It's powerful running by Johnson. Wow.
You talk about hitting yardage. Tell you what, he gets hit on the 46-yard line. He does not want to go down, Charles.
Not at all. That's the yards after contact. That was Tremaine Johnson, number 22, the corner, with a big pop to begin with. David Johnson seeking to atone for the fumbled opening kickoff. He did it in a big way on that catch and run. A former wide receiver turned running back at the University of Northern Iowa.
Tremendous balance.
Cardinals on the move now at the Rams 30-yard line, and Palmer to throw it on 1st down. Looking to Michael Floyd in the end zone, and broken up by Jenkins. And a penalty flag comes in. And this will be against Jenkins.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 21. Automatic. 1st down.
Big bodied receiver down at the bottom of your screen. That's Floyd, 15, working on Janoris Jenkins, number 21. And Jenkins has good position, but he's playing the body and playing the man. He's not finding the football. That takes his body into Michael Floyd's. He thinks he's got an incompletion caused, but his body is all into Floyd's before the ball gets there.
29-yard penalty. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Shipley in the backfield. And dropped for a 1-yard loss is Johnson. Great penetration there made by Aaron Donald.
I think it's difficult to run wide against both of these defenses. Both of them have excellent speed. Both of them like to use multiple defensive backs, meaning they're using 5 and 6 defensive backs in a lot of situations, not necessarily on goal line, but both of these defenses can run. Most of the yardage you gain against them, you're probably going to have to start between the tackles and get your first cut.
Keep an eye on Fitzgerald down at the bottom of your screen. 5 touchdown receptions already this year. They're going to pitch it instead to Johnson. And wrapped up by Ogletree. Well, I tell you what, man, Jenkins comes up and he will hit you. He blew up this entire play.
So here's Ogletree here, but as you noted, Tom, watch the start. 21, see how he shows right there? He took on Jared Veldier, the offensive tackle, to Janoris Jenkins, the corner, blew the play up, which allowed Ogletree to run unimpeded and become a free hitter and make the tackle on the play. Nice observation.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want your young guys, little guys outside, turning everything back in so those big guys can come and clean it up.
All right, now 3rd and goal. Here they come. Palmer gets it away through the hands of Johnson. So Johnson with an impressive run a moment ago. However, fumbled the opening kickoff and dropped a touchdown pass right there.
A big game in the division, the NFC West. And sometimes when you have the bobble early, Tom, you try so hard to make up for it that you press too much. And that looked like David Johnson was pressing. Ball hit him in the perfect spot, right in the hands. And he let it get through.
Captain Zero had an outstanding rookie year out of Clemson. Will be a 21-yard field goal try, and it is good. So at the end of the day, you got to call that a win for the Rams defense. First and goal from the 1. The Cardinals come away with 3. James Laurinaitis, the captain of this Rams defense, last week became the Rams all-time franchise leader in tackles, eclipsing the Hall of Famer Merlin Olsen.
You take out a name like Merlin Olsen, that's a heck of a career you're having.
No doubt about it.
Yes, Merlin Olsen played a little football before Father Murphy and FTD commercial, floral commercials. Pretty good football player.
Career at NBC.
He sure did.
Benny Cunningham, 5 yards out of his own end zone, trying to turn the corner. Flag down, run out of bounds right at the 20.
During the return, holding. Return team number 38. Half the distance. First and 10. Timeout on the field.
One of the most beautiful states in all the country, the Grand Canyon State. We've got a good one in the NFC West today.
So we got the last touchdown right here. This is Larry Fitzgerald. I just want to go, look at the pressure on Carson Palmer. The most he's seen so far this year. Larry is up at the top of the screen here, wide open on that last touchdown try that David Johnson dropped. That's what pressure could do. It could force you into making bad decisions.
Certainly Palmer is having to make quicker decisions today. There is no doubt about that. First time we've seen Trey Mason in the game in the backfield. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage by the Pro Bowler a season ago, Campbell. We'll see both Gurley and Mason in the backfield. Up front, they have 2 rookies, a second-year player, a fourth-year player. Saffold, the only veteran among that group. Rushing already the game's only touchdown.
And he needs to touch it plenty today for their offense to open up. Let's see if the Cardinals can force Nick Foles into having to make those quicker decisions as a quarterback.
Mason able to find a very small hole. Slips across the 5 up to the 7. It's been a playmaking defense. Campbell, the Pro Bowler a season ago. Gunter off to a very good start. So much speed in the linebacking core. Weatherspoon out of Missouri, and that secondary, they have been something else.
And this is exactly what they're looking for. 3rd and 11. This is where the secondary, the flock, gets a chance to impose their will.
They had 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns last week against the Niners. Free play for Foles. He's going to air it out. And it is caught by Jefferson. Intercepted. And he crosses at 20. And will be tackled at the 18-yard line. This figures to be a penalty against the Cardinals. Saw that Aaron Rodgers last week, when you get the free play, you better take it.
And the Packers practiced that.
Prior to the interception, offside defense. Number 57. 5-yard penalty. The ball will be returned to St. Louis.
Nick Foles getting Okafor with the hard count. Actually got not just Okafor, got Calais Campbell as well, number 93 in the middle of the line. Still 3rd and long.
As a defensive lineman, if you don't feel you can get back, you just got to keep coming, Charles. You can't give them that free plays.
Yeah, because we've seen, as Tom pointed out, what Aaron Rodgers does with free plays, he turns them into big plays or touchdowns.
A 3rd down and 6. Crossing pattern broken up beautifully on the coverage by Justin Bethel. He got his first defensive snap in the first quarter last week. Had an interception return for a touchdown.
There's Bethel. He's a corner. And he just keys in on the receiver. Look at him drive on it right away. And the reason he's able to do that, he knows that there's pressure going at the quarterback because of his defensive front. Alex Okafor applies the pressure. Bethel knows the ball's got to get out of his hands quickly.
Becker, a booming punt. And a fair catch just inside the 40 by Peterson. We're in October, and that means a postseason baseball. FS1 continues to be your home. The American League Division and Championship Series. It all begins this Thursday on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Coming all the way down to the final day of the regular season today to figure out perhaps an American League West champion and certainly deciding on what two teams will be in the wild card.
We got to see the Houston Astros the other night here when we went to the ballpark, some with the Diamondbacks, where they put up 21 runs that night.
They had a very good red zone offense that night. Palmer being chased by Quinn. Lays it off to Johnson, and he is slammed to the turf after a gain of 5 by Jenkins.
You know what's happened here? The Rams set the tone early with pressure on Palmer, the hitting. But if you notice how the field position has steadily crept back in favor of Arizona, they were able to pin St. Louis down there a couple of times. The punts, the field position's getting better for Arizona, which gives them a better chance to run offense.
Palmer 4 out of 6, 50 yards. Second down at 6, quickly into the hands of Brown. One man is a playmaker, and that's enough for a first down to the Ram 48.
And how about these Cardinal receivers? Larry Fitzgerald, we talked about his blocking earlier. Watch Michael Floyd, number 15. He hasn't caught nearly the amount of passes he would like in early going, but look at the block that he put on number 20, LaMarcus Joyner, which allowed John Brown access to the first down.
Floyd only 2 catches, number 1 pick out of Notre Dame 3 years ago, playing in his 4th season now. He has led the Cardinals in receiving yards over the last 2 years. First time they've looked at Fitzgerald, it's thrown high and complete.
Was that ball tipped at the line of scrimmage when Carson threw the pass? Because it certainly looked like something affected Larry Fitzgerald there, unless maybe my eyes were a little fuzzy there. I thought I saw something flash. Nope, not tipped, just unable to haul it in. It's a quick bullet pass to try and get it right to the receiver with a blocker out in front.
Last 2 weeks, 8 catches, 112 against the Bears, 9 for 134, 5 receiving touchdowns the last 2 weeks for Larry Fitzgerald. Second down and 10. Blitz coming. He gets it away, but read beautifully by Warren Knight, who wraps up Johnson and drops him right in the line of scrimmage. Boy, they are coming after Palmer.
And the beauty of the Rams is, you know, the pressure's coming at the quarterback, but when you have a James Laurinaitis who plays the run and the pass equally well, it's one of the great parts of his game. Now you've got the guy who's not just letting the pressure take care of everything, but backstopping it, covering the receiver, being right on the spot. Well played by James Laurinaitis, reading it and snuffing the play out.
Second-year pick out of Ohio State back in 2009, Laurinaitis. Very heart and soul of this Ram defense. Third down, Palmer slings it to the far side. First down reception to the 38-yard line, and that is Michael Floyd. And that will end the opening quarter. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. 7-3, we're set to begin the second quarter in Arizona. Only 3 points in the first 15 minutes for this highest scoring team in the league, the Arizona Cardinals, led by Carson Palmer. But on the move, first down at the Rams 37. And he'll throw it. And broken up by Tremaine Johnson, second down.
How about the pressure that we've seen today from the Rams? Chris Long, number 91, from his left defensive end position. He was helped by good coverage, but look at the effort and the tenacity getting back to quarterback. And how about how they're showing everyone at the line? You'll get a couple of linebackers to drop out, but LaMarcus Joyner, the nickelback, cornerback, ends up getting the sack on Carson Palmer. They come at you from every angle, every possible spot on the field, and everyone on the field is an eligible blitzer for the Cardinals. Excuse me, for the Rams.
Pulling it there to Floyd, and that's good enough for a first down to the 25-yard line.
Had a nice chat with Michael Floyd on the field in pregame, and he's had a slow start. Came into the game with only 2 catches on the season. I said, is it the fingers? Because he dislocated 3 fingers, had surgery in the preseason. He said, no, not at all. We're actually getting back into form. He said, everyone else is playing so well. He said, I'm going to get my chance, though. And when I do, I'm going to be ready for it. And today it appears his chance is coming.
It's the 9th play of this drive, and the Cardinals have thrown it on every play of it until now. Of course, no one knows the capability of Johnson better than the man who's the head coach of the Rams, and that's Jeff Fisher. He drafted Johnson coming out of East Carolina and watched him rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season.
Remember Jeff with Tennessee chewed up big yards, and there's a monster hit coming from T.J. McDonald. But
nice
Johnson holds on.
When your free safety comes up and fills like that, huh?
Yes. Jeff Fisher had Eddie George, and then Chris Johnson as his workhorses in Tennessee.
Johnson will get it again. And that's enough for another Cardinal first down inside the St. Louis 15.
And how about the run game now? It's straight ahead runs. Remember earlier in the game I was talking about trying to go wide with the speed of these 2 defenses? I don't think you get much success there. Your offensive line, your tight ends, your fullbacks, your H-backs, I think straight ahead running against both of these is your best opportunity. Don't let them use their speed to run you down. Now let's see how James Laurinaitis does as the play caller on defense. He's trying to check along with Carson Palmer.
Well, they pitch it to Johnson. And he is smothered behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of a yard. And that's what you just talked about, rather than straight ahead running, trying to pitch it and go wide and no room there.
Now, I understand why you want to get Chris Johnson to the perimeter, but I think getting him to the perimeter would be much more of a inside type run, off tackle, and then he's able to bounce it a little bit. It's hard when it's just a total pitch, and then you're letting the defensive pursuit take over, because those guys can really run both sides, whether it's the Rams or the Cardinals. Now watch Laurinaitis 55. Carson Palmer would call his plays. Laurinaitis trying to get along with him. Laurinaitis wants to have the last check and put the defense in the best possible defense for them.
11th play of this drive, and it's caught by Brown, trying to make a move on Johnson. It'll bring up 3rd down inside the 10. Now in the red zone is where these Cardinals have just been lethal. Now granted, 1st and goal from the 1 today. The Rams held them to a field goal. But take a look at this so far this year.
Yeah, that's what they came into the game. 11 out of 12 coming into today's work. The best in the NFL. Now they got a big 3rd down. As you noted a little while ago, Tom, they have not run the ball a heck of a lot on this drive. I expected in the air here. Floyd has been really active early in the game, and he's up at the top and has a good favorable matchup if they want to put it up in the air to him.
They're going to run it to David Johnson, and he is denied. Nowhere close to the 1st down. So out comes the field goal unit, and once again this stingy St. Louis defense stands tall on 3rd down.
If the Cardinals are going to win today, they have to block Aaron Donald inside. That means Mike Iupati 76, Jonathan Cooper 61, Lyle Sendline 63 have to be able to handle him.
Well, he blew
that
up
didn't happen on that play, did it?
I mean, Iupati looked like he was doing a backpedaling drill.
Remember his first game back coming off of knee surgery, and not an easy assignment when Aaron Donald's in your face.
Cat 0, 27 yards out. Well, inside the NFC West, it wasn't long ago these games were like a pillow fight. It's anything but that now. A rock'em sock'em division.
Today's game is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast.
Beautiful Sonoran Desert. First time really this entire summer and early fall. The temperature's beginning to drop a little bit here.
Yeah, we got down just below 90.
90 here, mid-90s here without the monsoon season is perfect. Not everywhere. Not down in your neck of the woods.
No. A little bit moister heat there.
Kenny Cunningham out of the end zone, and Cunningham barrels his way across the 30. Runs right through the kicker, all the way up to the 34-yard line. Well, tomorrow A showdown brewing that has Gotham on edge. If you think you know what's happening next, you'd better think again. The new season here, Gotham, Rise of the Villains. Catch an all-new episode tomorrow, right here on Fox.
And as you notice, those villains had no compunction throwing a person through a window, did they? Didn't bother at all.
No.
Similar to these two defenses. You know, these two defenses have no problem at all wrecking your day. That's what they're about.
7-6 would back that up. 10:38 to play until halftime. Good field position on this drive for Foles and the Rams. They took advantage of a fumbled kickoff, turned it into a touchdown. They have done nothing on offense. Foles has thrown for 20 yards. Todd Gurley, the rookie out of Georgia, made his NFL debut last week. First game since he tore his ACL on his left knee last November as a Georgia Bulldog. And even knowing he had the ACL tear, the Rams still took it.
I marked him down as the closest to coming to the league as a runner as to Adrian Peterson since that time. And I've seen nothing to change my mind. What a rehab he's done to get back on the field.
And he picks up the rusher, and it's dumped up to the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Let's check in back in L.A. with Kurt Menefee.
All right, on the pregame show today, Jimmy Johnson broke down the advantages Peyton Manning has out of the pistol. The Broncos must have been listening. They used that. Pitcher to Ronnie Hillman, he's gone. 72 yards later, it's good for a touchdown and a 10-0 lead in their game against Minnesota. Tom, Charles, and Goose.
And Kurt, they didn't run that stretch play Jimmy demonstrated in the pregame show. They ran a little toss, so the quarterback didn't have to move very far.
Manning going for his 100th home win. Wow. 3rd down and 4. Good protection, and Foles nowhere near the intended receiver, Stedman Bailey. Boy, this Rams offense is ugly. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it.
That offensive
16 points the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that offensive line did a nice job of picking up the blitz, but I'm with you on that, Tom.
Well, they went 17 yards after the fumble to score a touchdown. Since then, 3 and out. 1 yard, 4 yards, 6 yards. 9 total plays. Peterson from the 8-yard line. And tiptoes his way beyond the 15 and run out of bounds. Take a look at Antelope Canyon. Boy, how spectacular is that? Up in northern Arizona. Frank Cignetti, the offensive coordinator under Jeff Fisher for the Rams. And after this failed 3rd down conversion, a 3 and out for the 3rd straight series. Frustration.
And it's tough being the play caller when the last 2 weeks you've averaged 8 points per game and you're having trouble moving the ball with just 1 first down so far in the early going. It came by the touchdown pass to Tavon Austin.
But they're still in front. And on 1st down, it's Johnson across the 20 up to the 22-yard line.
How about the Rams defense today? We know that they play tough. They do have a takeaway today that led to their 7 points, the touchdown. 2 sacks, 2 field goals allowed, and 2 red zone drives. And because you're giving up field goals in the red zone, you're playing excellent defense. That's the goal. 3, not giving up the touchdowns.
Rams defense has only had 1 bad half, and that was the first half of Washington week 2. Nice catch made by the former pro basketball player. Darren Fells played overseas after playing collegiately at UC Irvine. Had a big week 1, quiet since then. That's a gain of 18.
Now, I think this ball was thrown before he was looking for it. He caught it late. See that? See how he looked down? Darren Fells had made his break, and Carson Palmer had anticipated and thrown it early. Fells didn't pick up the ball in terms of being in flight until very late. It's an excellent catch by Fells because he didn't get his head around in time to see the ball come up in Carson Palmer's hands.
First down, short drop, quick kick to Brown. And that is close to another first down right at midfield. Johnson in coverage.
And Tony, this is how they're neutralizing the pressure, isn't it? Quick answers, meaning the ball's out of Carson Palmer's hands in a hurry.
Yeah, it frustrates the defensive lineman. You can't get a pass rush. When that ball comes out that fast, you sort of lose your momentum as a defense, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Big start for Brown, who had an exceptional rookie year. In fact, set all Cardinals franchise records in receptions and receiving yards. And now looking down to Brown for the home run ball. And it's intercepted in the end zone by Janoris Jenkins. What a play by the Rams corner Jenkins as he takes it away, and that's his second turnover by the Cardinals. Spectacular catch by Jenkins. Rams football pinning it against the lid.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
The Arizona Cardinals are going to take their shots during every game. And here's one by Bruce Arians as a play caller. Trying to find John Brown against Janoris Jenkins. And he ends up getting double teamed late in the route. TJ McDonald, 25, makes a play on the ball. Janoris Jenkins also does. Pins it against his helmet and brings it down. Gentlemen, is this the same stadium David Tyree made that catch in the Super Bowl?
It is.
That was pinned against the helmet?
That's the same play right there.
What an excellent play by Jenkins and McDonald. Late in the route, taking away the attempted the touchdown pass.
Jenkins' third career interception against Arizona, the most he has against any opponent in his short career in the NFL. First down, and this is Gurley for maybe close to 3.
And really, this isn't a bad play call, is it, Tony?
Not at all. Not at all. Listen, you got to take your shots. You know, if you go back to Pittsburgh, I remember playing the Steelers, you know, where Bruce Arians came from. Once they cross the 50, they're going to take a shot downfield. I thought it was a good call by him. You got an opportunity. Just a great play by Jenkins.
Yeah, those other guys get paid, too, to play this game.
Absolutely do.
3 consecutive 3-and-outs for this Rams offense against a very good Arizona defense, and across the middle, and that is a first down to Jared Cook, the first of this second quarter, and only the second Rams first down in the game.
And so what do the Rams do? They come back with a quick answer to pressure in the face, and that's the ball out of Nick Foles' hands quickly. He actually told us that in the meeting, didn't he? Nick Foles said, I can protect the play by getting the ball out fast. That's exactly what he did there for a first down.
Play fake to Gurley, and Foles looking down the field to Austin. And Austin inside the 20 beat Johnson to make the reception.
And this was blocked well because this play took time to develop. Here he comes, number 11 in white. Looks like he's meandering, and then he juices it up a little bit. And Rashad Johnson tries to get there, but this is a really well-thrown ball because that allows Austin to keep his body between the ball and the cover man, which was Rashad Johnson. Big shot by the Rams.
47-yard gain. More yards on that play than they had the entire game on offense. Taken one way, dumping off to Cook, the tight end. And he's inside the 10, close to the 9-yard line.
And I like the follow-up play call by Frank Cignetti. Got him on the run, doesn't come back with your standard running play now on 1st and 10, which is what the Rams like to do as a run-first team. Got him moving, hit him with a big play, come right back with something else. I like the aggressiveness that Frank Cignetti is showing as a play caller right now.
Second down and 2 from the Arizona 10-yard line. Markey, the lead man, out of the eye, and they hand it to Gurley, and just nowhere to go. That looked like it was Frosty Rucker with penetration initially into the backfield. So now 3rd down for the Rams.
It's an old school brawl fight right here, guys.
Yeah,
Neither one of these teams want to give up an inch, let alone a foot.
I don't think you run the ball in this situation either, Tony. I think you've got to do something here. Foles has enough nimbleness to move around a little. Maybe you move him a little bit and try and get it out of his hands quickly into the flat.
Jeff Fisher wants a timeout. His team has all three. It's what Jeff Fisher talked about yesterday. We cannot kick field goals. We have to score touchdowns when we get the chance. And a big third down coming up for Foles and the Rams. Rams in front, 7-6, third down at the Arizona 12. 3rd and 4. Blitz coming. Jump ball to the end zone. In and out of the hands, broken up by Tyrann Mathieu. Trying to go to Jared Cook.
And they were trying to use a mismatch by formation and size. See, Cook is the big tight end working on the much smaller Tyrann Mathieu. But what Mathieu does is see the ball to the hands of the receiver. And look how he chops through and knocks it away. That guy doesn't give up on anything, number 32, Tyrann Mathieu. They had him by size, had the ball there, and he ended up making the play late to force the field goal.
30-yard field goal try by Zerline. And it splits the uprights good to make it a 10-6 St. Louis lead.
Well, you guys know about wide receivers and the reputation of, hey, we just want to catch the ball and everybody leave us out of everything else. Well, here in Arizona, these wide receivers, watch Larry Fitzgerald. You guys noted that earlier. That's knocking Robert Quinn, a perennial Pro Bowl defensive end, down as he ended up in his route. And here's Michael Floyd helping John Brown on a wide receiver screen. Yeah, we talked to Larry Fitzgerald a couple weeks ago, and I asked him about that move inside to slot receiver and now all the extra blocking. And he said very succinctly, yeah, once I made the transition mentally inside, you know what I discovered? If I don't block, it shows up very quickly, and it hurts my team, and everyone can see it. So he took the challenge, became a new guy, a more complete receiver. And guys, you guys know this. Not many superstars have to remake their game like Larry Fitzgerald did, and not many would accept remaking their game as Larry Fitzgerald did.
All right, Bruce Arians Cardinals have 3:16 to play until halftime. Of course, they have a 2-minute warning. They have all three of their timeouts. Carson Palmer is hit on 11 of 16. Fitzgerald does not have a single catch in the game so far today. Or one, I beg your pardon, one target they tried to find him. I'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea on AFN, the American Forces Network. We thank all of you for serving our country. God bless you all. And of course, they had Arizona State alum, turned Arizona Cardinal Pat Tillman, who served his country and passed away, was shot in Afghanistan, but they have a statue of him here. They have his locker over their complex. First down, Palmer, great protection. And there's Fitzgerald. Did he catch it? Rams are saying he didn't get it.
Officials are spotting it as a catch. Yeah, he's able to cradle it to his body, and it looked like the elbows were underneath it. Good catch by Larry Fitzgerald, but as you noted, Tom, the protection allowed Carson Palmer to climb the pocket and rifle a strike to him.
167th consecutive game where they picked up Laurinaitis at the very last instant before he had a free shot on Carson Palmer.
I think Laurinaitis was so shocked that he came so free. If he would have really had a better get off, he would have got there. Watch him right here. I mean, no one even touches him.
Chris Johnson tried to get to him late, just enough of him, but he had already affected the play because Carson Palmer had to get rid of it and count too early.
3:38 to play until halftime. A second down run, and look out, Johnson can fly. Across midfield, and he'll step out of bounds. McLeod had the good angle on him. And that run. And Darren Fells leading the way.
Remember what we were talking about? Here's where you're going to start your runs if you're going to have success against these teams. See how he starts it inside, and then what? Then you're able to bounce it outside to find the perimeter space that Chris Johnson craves. But you start inside to work outside. If you start outside first, that allows the speed and pursuit to get to you a lot quicker.
21-yard gain there for Johnson. He's rushed for 51 yards, and this will take us to the 2-minute warning. So a pair of turnovers by the highest scoring team in the league. Rams have a 10-6 lead, but Arizona on the move. Well, nice to have Eric Dickerson here today, rooting on his former team. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. Well, you told me, Charles, that's not him. America's game of the week. Rams 10, Arizona 6. Out of the shotgun, Palmer takes a hit, delivers a strike to Michael Floyd, who has more catches in this game through the first half than he had through 3 games this season.
And what a throw by Palmer, because watch his blind side. LaMarcus Joyner, free runner right at him, and Palmer just stays in there and delivers. Remember, you pointed out, Tom, this is the team that he got hurt against. So sometimes when you face that team the first time, there's some trepidation. Don't see that at all with Carson Palmer today. He's standing and delivering.
David Johnson in the game, and he's inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Cardinals.
Running through those arm tackles.
Gain of 12 for the rookie out of Northern Iowa. Found him in the 3rd round. Oh, a dangerous throw there. Jenkins was a step away, but it's caught by David Johnson for a gain of 2.
He saw it, he read it. Here's Jenkins here at 21, and coming right at him. He saw the play and was about a half a count behind, getting out in front of it. You remember in 2012, Janoris Jenkins against these Arizona Cardinals as a rookie. 2 interception returns for touchdowns in the same game.
Palmer steps out of trouble, walks into the end zone, and incomplete. Great coverage in the end zone. As Palmer was looking for Fitzgerald, but T.J. McDonald on the blitz, applying the pressure to Carson Palmer.
And the first player that flashed, the Cardinals picked it up late, but not the second. McDonald's 25 here. He's the one who ultimately gets there. You see on the top of the screen, they picked up Rodney McLeod, the other safety. End up double teaming him with Cooper 61 and Johnson 31, but Palmer had to spin back towards T.J. McDonald. That's where he's the most effective. McDonald 25, Mark Barron 26, blitzing the quarterback.
All right, twice in these situations, this Rams defense has stood up on 3rd down, and Lofton contact, but no penalty flag. Another 3rd down stop, and another big hit by Laurinaitis on Palmer.
So how about a role reversal there that Mark Barron, known as a blitzer and not as much as a cover guy, is the cover guy in this play, and Laurinaitis applied the pressure at 55. So the pressure will come right in the face of Carson Palmer. There's 55 Laurinaitis, and look at the coverage downfield by Barron. People wanted a flag, but I thought there was a good job by the officials keeping it in their pocket.
42-yard field goal try by Chandler Catanzaro. Good snap, good hold, and it is a good field goal attempt. Highest scoring team in the league. 3 times they have been deep into St. Louis territory, and 3 times on 3rd down, the Rams defense stands tall.
And points went up on the board, but the Rams count those all as wins because they're only giving up field goals. Laurinaitis coming a little bit late on the blitz. And right there, cleanly, goes right through the body of Carson Palmer and dumps him and helps force another incompletion on a key 3rd down.
We're moving as fast as we can to get you ready for the Visa halftime.
The Jets flew by the Dolphins in London. The Falcons put up points in a hurry against Houston, and the Raiders and Bears have a furious finish. We'll get you all up to speed at the half.
All right, so now all of a sudden, if you were the Rams, a 10-9 lead, 2 timeouts remaining, 1:13 left. They have an outstanding field goal kicker with a big leg in Zerline.
Your confidence is growing because your defense is holding down the high-flying Cardinals. But you're saying to yourselves as well, offense, help us out a little bit. Got to be able to get some points for us.
Benny Cunningham on his own end zone. And does not make it to the 20, tripped up at the 15. All right, some of the early games, some of the headline acts, and all 3 of these players, their teams are unbeaten to start the year. Cam Newton goes on the road, wins in Tampa Bay. Devontae Freeman, another monster game for the high-flying Falcons. Jeremy Hill said after the game that fantasy league owners were beating him up last week. He said he took himself in the fantasy league team today. 3 touchdowns for the unbeaten Bengals.
And that's great confidence. Remember Bobby Riggs, the great tennis player? He bet on himself one year at Wimbledon. Paid off handsomely.
Look at Bobby Riggs coming from Charles Davis. I can assure you that is the first time that name has ever appeared on an NFL on Fox telecast.
Well, you know, in the dictionary, when you say confidence and betting on yourself, Bobby Riggs' picture pops up and goes, hey,
yes,
here I am.
Well, you know, we wondered coming into this game with the Rams offense scoring up points to win a game. Now we have an entire half to go. Cardinals are going to spend a timeout here. 1:03 left. We also wondered, could this Rams defense slow down the highest scoring team in the league? Certainly the latter question, a big affirmative.
Without a doubt. And they came into this game confident that they could do that, but now they have actual proof. They've seen that they can do it. The key for them, though, is will their offense get a breakthrough and give themselves a little bit of a cushion to work with? That's what they need now from their offensive unit.
Well, they're content, it appears, just to go ahead and not trying to do much of anything here.
Think timeout.
Now all of a sudden they might get the ball back before this half is over.
Think timeout if you're Arizona. You might get a chance to get the ball back with field position and get an opportunity.
Let me ask you, if you're a Ram fan, you've been so frustrated with your team's offense so far this year. Are you surprised they're not trying to do a little something here with 1:15 to go and 3 timeouts left?
I think you would like them to, but you're not surprised that they're not, because you've seen that before. You understand. I think Jeff Fisher's thinking is, we played a heck of a half of football. We're up 1. I don't want to do something crazy on this end, hand it to Arizona going into the half, but he's going to want to make them earn it. Make them use their timeouts, make them punt the football if they have to, and then have a chance to get his defense back on the field.
They're down 10. And Foles will throw this screen to Cunningham. Boy, he went the wrong way. Stays on his feet, but if he just goes straight ahead off to the left, that had more than first down yardage.
I agree with you totally. As I was watching the play unfold, I thought with where Foles put the ball, it put him in a spot to just take him to the sideline and keep going. Watch, this is a well-designed play. Fakes it off to the right, to his right, comes back to his. So why did he just go that way? That's a surprise to me. He spun back into traffic instead of taking it where the vision was. I guess he felt the pressure there. Was that Calais Campbell, 93? I think when he felt the pressure or saw the color of the jersey, that spun him back inside. But I think when he sees the game tape, he's going to say to himself, if I'd stayed there, because now they have to punt the football away.
It's a final timeout for Arizona here in the half. Now the always dangerous Patrick Peterson, who's had so many big plays against the Rams in his 4-year career, waits on the booming punt by Hecker from the 22-yard line. Slips one tackle, cannot break another. That is outstanding coverage. First by Joyner, cleaned up by Cody Davis.
That's tremendous coverage, wasn't it? Because if he makes the first guy miss, as he normally does, he's got some room.
No room in that one. They had the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth guy right there.
Joyner flushed him, and then everyone else was there. Cody Davis finishing it off. Look at that. And hadn't trailed all year. And now it's been most of the half.
Well, we've been jumping all over teams, scoring better than 30 points in the opening quarter. Have these Cardinals already this season. They had 2 takeaways, interceptions returned for touchdowns. The first 2 49er possessions a week ago. And on first down, Palmer throws and it's incomplete.
Tony, I feel like this Rams defense's confidence, which was already high, I think it's continuing to grow as this half goes on.
Yeah, they know what they want to do. They're putting the pressure on when they need to. They're covered. They're running to the ball. They're a very aggressive defense, but they're smart. Very smart.
Yeah, you can see when pressure goes to Carson Palmer, there's coverage downfield as a general rule. It's not like people are running through it wide open.
And this defense has been on the field a lot. Cardinals have run nearly double the amount of plays that the Rams have run on offense, and that's a first down catch here. Hurry up mode. They have no timeouts left. Palmer will spike it, and 19 seconds remain.
Well, now, because you don't have any timeouts left, working the center of the field, working the middle of the field, unless it's a big strike and you're going right to the end zone, you don't have that option very much. You're trying to get in a position to get a Chandler Cantazero field goal. Trying to get him an opportunity, and his career long is 51.
Let's go! Right, 90!
Palmer steps up, throws, and the catch is made. Penalty flag all the way back behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big gain by Brown, who runs out of bounds, but this one might come back. Brown has been the big target so far today.
Holding, offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Well, when you're working against a perennial Pro Bowler in Robert Quinn, Veldier 68 in black, you got your work cut out for you. And look at that dip by Robert Quinn. It's amazing the body control of these great pass rushers. They're almost like tremendous skiers who slalom and can make that dip as they're going through. He ended up getting underneath Veldier, and Veldier ended up having to grab him because on his punch, he couldn't get enough of the body.
No target when you have that dip.
And after that penalty, the Cardinals have just decided to take a knee, and that'll end the first half. Well, in division games, it is not a surprise that you see a tightly contested affair. And that it has been. First time all year long, Palmer and the Cardinals have been quote-unquote hit in the mouth here.
And that's what the Rams wanted to do. Get an advantage and see how the Cardinals react to the first real adversity they've had this year. Advantage St. Louis after one half of football, even if it's just by 1 point.
The Rams will get the football to begin the second half. 10-9 at halftime. And right now we go to Kurt Menefee and the gang in Los Angeles for the Visa halftime, which begins right now. You're watching the NFL on Fox. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. This has been as we expected. Low scoring, hard fought. Who would make critical plays at the critical times? And so far, there have not been many, but it's been the Rams defense stepping up to make big plays so far, holding Palmer and the Cardinals to just 3 points. Back with Charles and Tony. I'm Tom Brenneman. Glad to have you with us on the NFL on Fox. And all right, Charles, you go to halftime, and you know, for Bruce Arians' team, all of a sudden, you've not been behind all year long, and you've been behind this entire first half.
The absolute goal of St. Louis coming in. Make them think in a different way. They haven't had that type of adversity. What would they be like trying to play from behind? Well, they've got them in that spot. If I'm Bruce Arians, I'm thinking I want to run the ball a little bit more in the second half. They ran it 14 times in the first half, 27 passes. 13 of those runs, 39 yards. They had a 21-yard sprint by Chris Johnson. 5 of those runs were negative plays, but I think they've got to get St. Louis to respect that a little bit more to open things up a bit better for them out on the perimeter throwing it.
My Rams will get the ball to begin the second half. Checked in with Tony Siragusa, who was able to visit with both head coaches. How about it, Goose?
That's pretty funny, your guys' report. Jeff Fisher said we need to go and stick with the run game. That's going to go and help us offensively. We've got to get the run game going. Bruce Arians, he told me, we need to finish. We need to finish drives, we need to finish routes, we need to finish our pass rush, and we need to finish runs. All together, if we could just get that out there and get that into our minds that we need to finish, we're going to come out with a win in this game. So they're both excited. Both these coaches thought this is exactly where they were going to be.
So, Tony, it sounds to me like there was a theme. It sounds like running the ball is a theme for both of these coaches in the second half.
Absolutely, Charles, absolutely.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if I'm believing it. We'll find out. I believe it with the Rams. I'm not so sure about Arizona. And you're not going to stick with it long when you have negative yardage handing the ball off to Gurley. And Campbell breaks through. He's been all over the field as Calais Campbell.
Calais Campbell lines up inside now, okay? Watch how he makes this play, working right past the center, Tim Barnes. And this has been a wrinkle that Arizona's added in the last few weeks in this season. Calais Campbell coming from a defensive end position, working inside, even on first down, using his quickness to get past the offensive line.
Also 5 on first down. Faking one way, come back to Austin the other way. And Austin able to pick up a first down. Out across the 30 up to the 34-yard line. Statistically, in the first half, the story has to be the Rams defense, which is as good as it's been all year long, has had a hard time getting off the field on third down. Not the story today.
No, they've done an excellent job, and the best part is killing off the red zone drives of Arizona and forcing them to kick field goals. We came into this game with Arizona 11 for 12 on the season, touchdowns in the red zone. Today they kicked 3 field goals.
Yeah, them turnovers will keep them in the game, guys.
Turnover on the opening kickoff. Allowed the Rams to score their only touchdown. In fact, the game's only touchdown. Play fake to Gurley. And that is caught by Harkey out of the backfield. And while we have a moment, let's send it back to Los Angeles for a game break.
Well, the Broncos led Minnesota 13-0, but after Anthony Barr picked off Peyton Manning 3 plays later, Mike Wallace took a touchdown reception from Teddy Bridgewater. They scored 10 points in a minute and a half, and it's now a 3-point game at halftime. Tom, Charles, and Goose.
Kurt, you mean Mike Wallace caught a pass that wasn't a bomb? How about that?
How about that? Denver winning the last 2 meetings against Minnesota on the final play of the game. It may come down to that again today. Quick hit to Austin, and Peterson there to wrap him up and throw him to the deck.
And that's a beautiful play by Patrick Peterson, but I think he was really crowding the line of scrimmage. And if you see well, no, he's not. He's back. So he just reads it, trusts his eyes, and makes the play. They're trying to get into Austin on the wide receiver screen. He didn't buy anything else and went up there and made an excellent open field tackle on the elusive Tavon Austin.
Rams 1 of 6 on third down, 0 for their last 5. Their only conversion on third down was a touchdown pass to Austin. Blitz coming. Foles steps up, throws, and there's a third down conversion to Bailey. Beautiful throw by Nick Foles, who took a hit from Frosty Rucker as he turned it loose.
A bunch formation, Tony. Isn't the bunch formation a staple of Arizona?
Yeah, it is. It's like they're mimicking each other. Let's get in their game plan. Frosty Rucker, too, the pressure.
Yes.
Nobody even touched him. I mean, you got to get a hand on these big guys up front. Your quarterback's not going to last in this game.
It's a dynamite throw by Nick Foles with Frosty Rucker in his lap.
Very, very young offensive line for the Rams. And here they're going to throw it on first down. The screen to Gurley. And he is tackled inside Arizona territory to the 45. You may remember it was a year ago. The Rams had all kinds of leadership on that offensive line. They had a group that had combined 370 NFL starts, but they gave up 47 sacks. And they said enough of that, and now a youth movement along that front.
Jake Long was there for a while last year before injury, playing left tackle, and then they were able to move their #1 pick, Greg Robinson, there when Long got hurt.
They had a weird look to it right from the beginning, and Foles just did a throw it away.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that snap at all, Tom.
You know, we have seen that a number of times the early part of this season, not necessarily with a quarterback under center, but a quarterback in a shotgun.
Yeah, come on.
And both of these quarterbacks, I mean, both of these teams talked about crowd noise.
Illegal shift. Offense. The whiteout was moving up. At the same time, tight end was moving back. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
And so, you know, both of these teams last week talked about crowd noise in their own buildings affecting them. Remember the Steelers fans affecting the Rams, and here at home, it hurt Arizona as well.
Blitz coming again. Foles able to dump it off to Cook, who nearly had that ball ripped out of his hands. In fact, it was knocked out of his hands, an incomplete pass. Jerron Powers made a really nice play on the tight end, Jared Cook. That looked like a ball that should have been handled.
He had erased a really nice play by Nick Foles. To Tony's point, quarterback's not going to last if they keep taking hits as Nick Foles just did. And then to your point, Tom, at the end of the play, that ball popped out of Jared Cook's hands, and Powers finished it off, not letting him double clutch it.
Yeah, that was a straight drop. 3rd and 8 for midfield.
And Kenny Britt hasn't been called all day long. Patrick Peterson shadowing him. Britt should be their top receiver out wide.
Foles looking down the sidelines, and it's incomplete. With an eye on Austin, outstanding coverage by Jerron Powers. So the Rams will punt it away.
Their coverage is so good, they make you make a perfect throw, don't they? Why do they play this type of press? Because they believe the ball's got to get out of the hands of the quarterback quickly, because of the pressure that they're bringing up front with their defensive line, occasional linebackers coming at them, which means Nick Foles has to be beyond accurate to complete those types of passes.
Becker is so good at pinning teams inside the 20, and a fair catch at the 7 by Peterson. Cardinals get the football for the first time in the second half when we return.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Pizza Hut. Bring home the flavor only at Pizza Hut. And by Cialis.
Together, the NFL, the American Cancer Society, and you can join the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a crucial catch day on October the 13th. Find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. And of course, so many of us are sadly, tragically touched by breast cancer. None more than the man who made the reception there, Larry Fitzgerald, all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Antonia came out of a bunch. Watch Fells 85. He turns it into a bunch with Gresham 84. And Fitzgerald sneaks out from the pack. Gets some open space. And Palmer leads him perfectly for extra yardage.
Yeah, with them close throws like that right behind the linebackers, it's not a lot of time to respond. So in quick slants, they hit and they're successful.
Saw the donation to Fitzgerald is making per catch and per touchdown catch. After tragically losing his mother to breast cancer, Ogletree dropped for a loss on a first down run.
And Ogletree gets the tackle, but the play was made by Robert Quinn, number 94.
Exactly. The penetration that Ogletree and Quinn, everybody up the field makes it so difficult to run the ball because you can't make the cuts. They're forcing you to make cuts before you want to, and now everybody who's coming, you know, it's an easy play. It's an easy play to make a tackle like that and get that penetration.
Second down and 15 into the hands of the speedy John Brown. Wow. Turns the corner. And a flag comes in late. And this is something we see frequently with this very good Rams defense. Silly penalties sometimes after the whistle, and that appears to be the case here on Ogletree. Or is it? Chris Long is saying this is against Arizona.
There is no foul for a late hit. The runner was still a runner inbounds. 1st and 10.
All right, you be the judge.
Correction, 3rd down.
So you see Brown working up sideline. Oh, he's way out of bounds. I'm really surprised that they picked up a flag on this one. I mean, he's not just on the margin.
As the runner stepped out of bounds at the 38-yard line. 3rd down.
Runner stepped out of bounds at the 38-yard line. I mean, there are a lot of teams around the league that will tell you this Ram team plays in the echo
of the whistle.
Of the whistle.
Yeah, they are all-out aggressive group that gets after you. And I think that they were saved there by that one because I thought John Brown was well into the right before that last hit came. It wasn't even close to my eyes.
3rd down. And lofted beautifully and then knocked out of there, and that is it. A catch is the question. And it is a catch and a turnover as Rodney McLeod blew the ball right out of the hands of Larry Fitzgerald.
And the Cardinals,
what a play.
And the Cardinals are going to want to see it and hopefully see some juggling by Fitzgerald. Let's see. No, I think he's got that thing tucked away and has become a runner at that point. See that?
That looks like a catch and a turnover. What a play by McLeod. That's a big league play. Is this a catch by Larry Fitzgerald? Then a fumble. How about it, Mike Pereira back in L.A.?
Well, I think it is because he's on his feet. He brings the ball in here, tucks. He braces himself for the contact, so he's become a runner at that point. To me, I do believe that they will stay with the catch and a fumble.
And Mike, one thing I noticed here, we talk about concussions and getting the head out of plays, right? How about the play by Rodney McLeod? That was shoulder on the football. And we all know back in the good old days, they taught us to put our head on the football, didn't they?
That's correct. That's correct. And they've done a better job of getting that head out in front and avoiding that penalty.
So it is indeed a turnover. 1st down carry for Gurley, and that's the best run of his first 2 games of his NFL career. All the way to the 35-yard line for Todd Gurley. This is what they've been seeing in practice that they were hoping would carry over into the game.
And one of the things that we saw about Gurley coming out of Georgia was he had excellent vision too. See how he sees it? Good cut, finds the gaps, and this is just going to keep getting better for him. You remember when he hurt his knee last year, guys? It was November 15th. He's not even a year in rehab, and he's back on an NFL field.
Got a big block from Kendricks, a tight end, right back in the hands of Gurley. And that'll be a gain of 13 inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. So when they told Tony Siragusa they were committed to the run, they came out throwing to begin the second half. And on this possession, back-to-back big runs by the rookie.
Watch the big guys up front. It's a zone blocking scheme, which means they don't come off the ball and fire straight ahead. They move laterally. They try and create creases and gaps for the runners. And look at Gurley's strength breaking through the tackle of Alex Okafor.
And they're getting those defensive linemen on the ground with low blocks, cut blocks.
3 in a row for Gurley. And not much running room this time. Rucker at the bottom of the pile.
You know, one thing you have to do is you have to stay on your feet when you're a defensive lineman, especially when you need that zone blocking up front. Because the back, once he sees a defensive guy down on the line of scrimmage, he knows that's where I got to make my cut. That's where the separation is going to come, and that's where I'm going to have to go and hit.
Tony, do defensive linemen get gun shy about getting cut?
They don't like it. I'll tell you what, especially inside, because you got both sides you got to worry about. So it's something like the NFL, I think they got to do a better job of getting that out of the game.
Gurley powers his way inside the 20-17. Let's quickly check in back in L.A.
And just as quickly, the Broncos score 4th and goal from the 1. Owen Daniels from Peyton Manning, and they have doubled the Vikings 20-10, 3rd quarter. Tom, Charles, and Goose.
Broncos trying to crank it up on offense. All day long, the Rams have limited Arizona in the red zone to field goals. Arizona's got to mimic that now. They have to emulate that now. They've struggled on offense themselves. They can't let it become a wider gap. Got to force a field goal in this situation.
Bradford out of the shotgun on a 3rd and 5. And he lofts it to the corner of the end zone. Beautifully thrown ball. And it is a touchdown for Stedman Bailey. What a throw by Nick Foles.
And the Rams get their breakthrough. Here's that bunch formation again. Bailey, number 12, is the outside guy. Starts inside, makes a nice move on Tyrann Mathieu. And you see Gerard Powers try to drop back, fall back in coverage. But Tom, you noted it perfectly. That ball was dropped right in the bucket for Stedman Bailey, number 12. The perfect spot. Excellent throw, Nick Foles. Good route by Bailey. And the Rams get into the end zone again.
And then Bailey laying down to take a little nap because he's putting this Cardinal fan base to sleep.
And it was all set up by Rodney McLeod's big hit on Larry Fitzgerald to knock the ball free. Another turnover is turned into 7 points for the Rams, potentially.
3 turnovers today. 2 of the 3 have led to touchdowns, and the extra point is good. All of a sudden, there's worry in the desert.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live local games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
This season stream live, local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. .5:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Touchdown reception by Stedman Bailey. And Rams a 17-9 lead. I think Bruce Arians saying this should have been a penalty on Stedman. You can't use the ball as a prop on a touchdown celebration. He used it as his pillow to take a little snooze. Well, 3-0 start, 126 points. Better than 40 in back-to-back games for the first time by a Cardinal team since '69. 9 points in the game. 251 yards of total offense. And they average almost 400. First down carry to Johnson. And he rumbles his way all the way to the 39. A gain of 19 by Johnson.
Big run by him, but the Rams set the tone early about how it was going to be a hard-hitting game. Janoris Jenkins. There's TJ McDonald. And another big hit by TJ McDonald. And there have been plenty of others coming from the Rams during the day, but that was a nice sprint by Chris Johnson.
Well, they're taking a look at their outstanding linebacker, Alec Ogletree. We'll take a break.
Alec Ogletree is the player that they're looking at that's been hurt, the outstanding linebacker, and unfortunately his own teammate trying to make a tackle on Chris Johnson. TJ McDonald rolls up on his leg, and what a loss this is for the St. Louis Rams coming into today. Ogletree, 33 tackles in his last 2 games, 18 at Washington, 15 against Pittsburgh with 2 sacks. He's the epitome of a terrific run and chase hit linebacker. And they're really going to miss him out on the field now, running down this Arizona Cardinals offense.
Avon Austin, his teammate, saying a prayer for Ogletree as he is carted off. If we hear anything from the Rams locker room, we will pass it on. Another 10 tackles in the game today by Ogletree, which makes 43 in the last 2 games in almost 3 quarters. Johnson shot down. And a penalty flag is down behind the line of scrimmage.
I think that's going to bring it back for Arizona on a hold. Or is it going against St. Louis for a hold on defense?
Illegal use of hands to the face, defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Let's check in with Kurt Menefee back in Los Angeles.
Well, Green Bay scratching and clawing for everything they get in this game in San Francisco. John Kuhn plows it in from a yard out. It's now 14-3, but it's getting late in the 3rd quarter. Tom, Charles, and Deuce.
Of course, the Niners had allowed 40 or more in each of the last 2 weeks. Steelers and then these Cardinals last weekend.
Seeing some pride come out today in San Francisco. They decided to stand up and fight today.
Palmer on first down, looking for Michael Floyd, and a penalty flag down again. Tremaine Johnson cannot believe it.
And this will be the second one if it's interference.
There's also a penalty flag behind the line of scrimmage, Charles. Pardon me.
It's all right. Be a second one. Floyd is drawn if it holds up.
Well, we know we have a hold on Arizona. We're assuming it's interference on the other end against Johnson.
There's 2 fouls in the play. They'll offset. Pass interference defense. Number 22. Holding. Offense. Number 61. Will replay first down.
Just last week, Michael Floyd got a big catch erased by a hold against Jared Valdir. Now he draws a big yardage penalty downfield that goes away because of the hold against Cooper. Here's Floyd work his Tremaine Johnson. And again, Johnson's head is not back to the quarterback, and he bumps him too far downfield. Now, here's Cooper, 61, who they called the hold against. Yeah, it's clear. Look at that. He's got him right there. Clearly, he's got the hold.
First down, they hand it once more to Johnson. Sidesteps one tackle and picks up a couple of yards. Gang tackle. Led by Robert Quinn, and Darren Bates is in there now for the injured Alec Ogletree. Bates, a third-year backer out of Auburn. Johnson split out of the backfield far to the top of your screen. Palmer delivers a beautiful pass to Fitzgerald, and that is the first down to the Rams 35-yard line. What a throw by Palmer.
What a route by Fitzgerald, working from the slot, sets him up and then breaks it to the sideline. And what excellent timing between Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, because truthfully, that was not bad coverage by LaMarcus Joyner.
You took the words right out of my mouth. As soon as Larry Fitzgerald looked back, the ball was right where he knew it was going to be.
So now it's the Cardinals trying to answer the Rams touchdown. First down, they give it to Johnson, and he cuts it back to the inside, and Johnson inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line.
This is a stretch play, but watch how he puts a foot in the ground when he sees a gap and goes right now. Sees it? Okay, now he's got it. Great block by Fitzgerald there. Look at the vision by Johnson looking back to the inside. What do they always tell you that great runners have? The eyes connected to the feet. The eyes take the feet to the open gap. 83 yards on the day for Chris Johnson.
21 of those came on one carry. First down is David Johnson, no relation, checks in the backfield, and Palmer to the end zone, throws high. And an eye on Michael Floyd inside the 5.
So Michael Floyd all the way at the bottom of your screen here, all the way to the far right, number 15 in black. Just running a post route. That's what they call a bang 8. Quick post route to the inside. Throw the ball, time it up with the quarterback. That one sails high with good coverage.
By the way, Ogletree, word from the locker room, it is an ankle injury. There is a chance he may return. So that's great news. Second down at 10. Screen to Jermaine Gresham. And he's run out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. At the 14-yard line, it'll bring up third down and 2. This has been such an unbelievable strength for the Cardinals through the first 3 weeks. The Rams have made it mighty tough for them today.
And look at the red zone today. 7 plays, only 5 yards gained in the red zone. 0 touchdowns, 11 of 12 in the first 3 weeks. 4 touchdowns. And field goals do them no good now with the struggles they've had today.
Blitz Blitz coming, and Palmer is dropped from behind on the safety blitz by McDonald. So another trip inside the red zone is going to end with a field goal try.
And the coverage took it away from him because he wanted to go quickly with the route. Watch how Carson Sent wants that ball to come out. It can't come out because the coverage is there. Larry Fitzgerald was bottled up. John Brown's bottled up. And look at David Johnson out of the backfield. That's who I think he wanted first, was Johnson out of the backfield into the flat, bottled up and covered.
38-yard field goal try by Catanzaro. And it is good. Can't say enough about this St. Louis defense. They have been lights out. The biggest down so far in this game.
St. Louis holds a 5-point advantage, and one of the ways they've done it is the bunch formation where they've confused the coverage of the Arizona Cardinals. And one way to take that flock strength away from them is to spread them out. And with the bunch, they're doing that. Bunch formation, scatter receivers, create space and separation, and take away the collective strength of the defensive backs. Tony, we thought the bunch formation was almost the property of the Arizona Cardinals. It's turned against them.
Absolutely. You know, as a defensive lineman, you got to be aware when they have that bunch formation. You got to either get upfield, get that pass rush, or if you can't get upfield, you got to get your hands up. It goes and takes away the short level routes, and the quarterback has to go and elevate it. It could affect the throw. So there's things that everybody could do a little bit better on.
Benny Cunningham, a couple of yards into the end zone, and out across the 25 to 30, runs over the kicker, but the kicker ultimately makes a tackle. A flag comes in late. Brought out to the 38-yard line. Catanzaro slow to get up.
That's his, what, second, third tackle today?
Yeah, he's leading the special teams and tackles. That's not good.
No, that's not good. Whew. This is coming back.
During the return, holding return team number 46, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
It's Corey Harkey.
Look at Catanzaro. He's not afraid to put it in there, and that's the second time he's taken down Benny Cunningham on returns, but he has paid for it. You see him back there? He might be thinking that's an Advil moment right there. I mean, boy, he took a shot.
Well, rather than the 38-yard line, this is brought all the way back to just inside the 12.
So how much do you attack here, Tony, or do you play base if you're the Cardinals?
I think you got to go after him. You got to attack him right here. Early in the backfield, you got to be aware of him getting the ball because he's what started that last drive, the momentum for that offense.
Early movement by the left tackle, Greg Robinson.
Ball start. Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
October, you think postseason baseball and FS1 will be your home for postseason action, both the American League Division and Championship Series. It all begins this Thursday on FS1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So hard enough, backed up inside the 15. Now you're backed up inside the 10. Tony Siragusa with a bird's eye view. Gurley. He lost it.
He lost it. That ball was out. Gonna see if his knee was down.
Well, no signal given yet by the officials on the field. Gurley appeared to almost lose his footing going into a cut because it looked like there was some daylight in front of him there. We continue to wait.
He really used good vision to cut it back to where the opening was, but as you noted, Tom, his feet slipped on him, and that started the bad sequence for the Rams.
Early on the field is a fumble recovered by St. Louis. 2nd down.
Because the play was designed to go to the left, but he cut it back to the right. Tyrann Mathieu pops the ball free. That ball's definitely out, as Tony noted. He said it right away that the ball was working its way out. He was accurate. and somehow 3 black shirts around, and the Rams come up with the ball.
Second down, Foles in trouble, throws it away. And he is hit by Rodney Gunter.
Matthew 32 pops it right there, ball's out. And look at how it's surrounded. There are black shirts all over the place. And somehow you see Gurley starting to fight for the ball. He must have come up with it.
Yeah, it was right between the legs of Buchanan, but Buchanan didn't know.
That's working the pile, guys.
Third and 11. Screen. Blown up beautifully.
Ball is out again.
And it's out again, and Rucker has it this time, but are they saying he was down? Apparently they are.
Was that Tony Jefferson, 22, Tony, who made the first play?
Yeah, I think that was. Right. Rashad Johnson.
Because the first move,
shaky on that also.
Yeah, the first move, the flash of a black shirt through to disrupt the play.
It looked like Johnson, Rashad Johnson was the first one.
And Calais Campbell knocked that ball free. I think this is Arizona's ball. That ball's working its way out, guys. That ball's already out of Benny Cunningham's hands. And so I think this should be a possession for Arizona. I think the whistle's blew so they can't advance it, but that ball's out.
Yep. Minter.
And right there, Rucker, 92, picks it up, but they may have already blown it dead. You see Minter right there. And what a season Kevin Minter is having, number 51. He has really jumped
Arians is going bananas on these officials right now.
Well, they've got a chance to get it corrected, I
There
believe.
is no challenge by Arizona. The ruling on the field was forward progress was stopped. Therefore, anything that occurred thereafter is not reviewable by rule.
Not reviewable.
Yep. It's not reviewable. There's nothing they can do about it, but they've made excellent plays on defense, and they should get excellent field position after the punt.
I am stunned.
Because that ball was popped out right there. It's gone.
Well, that's the way the third quarter will end.
This is the end, the third quarter.
All right, 15 minutes to go. A good one inside the NFC West. Not reviewable, says the referee and his officiating crew led by John Perry.
And even though they're deep in their own territory, what do you have to do with the Rams? You stop to play them core trick plays, because Jeff Fisher pulled out at any time.
Becker punts to Peterson, and he's dropped immediately. Mike Pereira, what say you back there in Los Angeles about this? Because from where we sit, this looks like fumble written all over.
Yeah, here's what I say back here in LA after I look at it. You know, they made the right ruling that since they ruled forward progress, you cannot review it. Forward progress is only reviewable in regards to a score or a first down. But really, to me, this ball comes out very quickly. And of course, we get a chance to, you know, look at the play in slow motion, and it's a judgment call. But to me, the ball's out, and they should have left it as a fumble, or had it as a fumble.
I think we all agree with that, Mike.
Well, now the end around, they give it to John Brown. He stepped out of bounds back at the 39-yard line. Man, can he run. He can really run.
And he just takes the angles away from the defenders coming to tackle him with his speed.
And he'll be coming back from left to right. And there's Larry Fitzgerald with another block downfield on LaMarcus Joyner, number 20. Watch Fitzgerald right here out in open field. Gets just enough of Joyner to allow Brown to get to the sideline and get past him.
It's a gain of 13 for the second-year receiver out of Pittsburgh State.
Home of the Gorillas.
Play action. Palmer steps up down the middle, and it's caught by Jerron Brown. First time we called his name today, and that is a first down to the Ram 19.
We saw Jerron Brown week 2 in Chicago catch a 6-yard wide receiver screen. He's working from a tight formation, works inside, and then look at how he moved. That was almost like, hey, I found an open patch of grass, and he moved and put himself in the perfect sight lines with his quarterback, what they call showing him his numbers. Showed him the 1-3, and Palmer delivered.
Now they're in the red zone. And this is where drives have come to die today. Big hit made on the far side of the field on Fitzgerald by Mark Barron, former #1 pick of Tampa Bay, came over to trade to the Rams last November.
No, one thing, no matter how this game turns out, ice packs will be used liberally on both sides.
Oh, this is awesome. This is an old school, down and dirty, in the trenches kind of game.
Yeah, that's how you used to play it, Tony.
Yep.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Tennessee.
Flashbacks, man.
That's how you guys got after it.
Second down, Palmer swings it to Johnson. And he is thrown down short of a first down. And it'll bring up third down. All right, now you talk about inside the red zone. 3 times before this drive, they've been there. They've run a total of 8 plays, including a first and goal at the 1-yard line. In the 8 plays for Arizona inside the red zone, minus 1 yard of offense.
And that last third down was the sack that took them out of it. That killed them.
Back in the backfield, look for a little play action right here, guys. There goes that. Empty.
Third down and 2. Palmer. It's batted in the air and then nearly intercepted. That was Jermaine Gresham down to the 5-yard line. Just sat down right there, and it looked like a good throw by Palmer. Gresham, the former sure-handed Bengal tight end.
And that ball pops up, and look at the race to try and get it. Fells 85. And who is that for the Rams? See, it goes in the air. McDonald, TJ McDonald, 25, and here comes Cantizero again.
11 plays, 7 total yards inside the red zone today. And now a 4th field goal attempt successfully executed from 29 by Cantizero. Palmer and the Cardinals have run into a stone wall so far.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. And by Fitbit. Find your fit.
This has been a football game here today now. I mean, 2 hard-hitting teams.
They're earning every inch.
Defenses. And nearly an entire quarter to play, just under 12 minutes. And the Rams on the road trying to hand the Cardinals their first loss of the year. They'll get it at the 20 when we come back. 17-15, the Rams defense has done more than you could ever ask, and they're still under 12 minutes to play in this game. Can the Rams offense give them a little bit of breathing room?
And they actually got a touchdown pass to Stedman Bailey, which was maybe more than what they expected. But let's flip it around too, Tom. This Arizona defense has done yeoman's duty.
Yes.
With their offense only kicking field goals. They've kept them in it, kept it alive. So Arizona has a great shot at this thing still.
Tony, I got to ask you, as a former outstanding defensive lineman, they have been on the field, this Rams defense, for nearly double the amount of time as the Arizona defense.
Yeah.
Maybe starting to wear out.
Yeah, it plays on you. I'll tell you, you got to go and keep your mind in on the game. But these 2 teams know each other. They're trying to wear each other down. And the pass rush is slowed down a little bit from down here. Look at the speed on the field. But these guys are running to the ball. They're letting you earn every inch that you could possibly earn. The hits down here, we showed many replays of them. I'll tell you what, this is an old-fashioned slugfest.
And there was an outstanding play, yet another one by Calais Campbell. He is having some kind of game.
He's playing the piano today, meaning he's able to move up and down the line of scrimmage laterally. And he's ringing it up in the backfield of the Rams at times.
Second down and 10. In the hands of Austin, slipped a tackle and turns it into a big gainer. He ran right by Josh Morrow, had a crack at it behind the line of scrimmage, and we run to Los Angeles to Kurt Menefee.
Speaking of runs, Adrian Peterson on 4th and 1. He's gone 48 yards on the score, capped off a 97-yard drive for the Vikings, and they're within 3 in a good game going on in Denver. Tom, Charles, and Goose.
And Peterson was only averaging 2 yards a carry before that big run. So we talked about number of plays, 58-39. Cardinals offense to the Rams offense. Gurley, a big gainer up through the middle, breaks it to the outside. Gurley inside the 25, all the way down to the 15. Second game as a professional, and that's a little SEC. John going on right there. The Georgia Bulldog Gurley and the former Bengal Tiger from LSU.
Nice stretch play. Freeze right there. Now look at that. Look at this job that they've done there to chop the hole for Todd Gurley. Remember when he got drafted number 10 and everybody said, but the guy had an ACL. How do you draft a running back this high? That's why he was drafted that high. Not just for today, but for down the road when he continues to get better.
52-yard run by Gurley, knocking on the door of 100 yards. And a timeout going to be spent.
Looks like the play clock.
Offense.
Delay game. You know,
First down.
Tony, both the coaches said they wanted to run the ball. And I had said at the time, I'm not buying it. And I meant specifically for the Cardinals. I mean, they've run the ball okay this year, but they're winning games on the arm of Carson Palmer and his defense. Meanwhile, for Fisher, it is not a surprise they want to run the ball, because even before these big games today, they're excited about Gurley. They said they wanted to give him the ball anywhere from 14 to 17 times. He's carried it 12. Boy. Dangerous play, and Austin turns it into he stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Well, I tell you what, Matthews doing a lot of jawing down there.
Here he is. I love your description. Dangerous play, and he turned it into one missed tackle, 2 missed tackles. Then he turns the corner, and Patrick Peterson, who can run, and he can't get the angle on Austin, and he steps out right on the sideline there, and you see the head linesman, number 98 there, Greg Bradley, spotted it the whole way and made the determination.
Tavon Austin, 5 receptions, 84 yards, 2 carries, 20 yards, back in the hands of Gurley, and tripped up right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, one of the adjustments that they've made offensively in the second half, the Rams, so they got more of a tight end, fullback, H-back involved in the run game. So either Harkey, number 46, Cook, number 89, go into the backfield and become a fullback and a lead guy, even if it's misdirection for Todd Gurley, who's used to that type of running style from his days at Georgia.
This is a huge third down for both sides. All-out blitz. Foles. Touchdown, Tavon Austin. I mean, the Cardinals brought the house, and Foles hung in there to the bitter end and delivers a strike and a huge touchdown for the Rams.
Look what's coming right in his grill. And look at that, Dayon Buchanan actually took away his sight line. Foles able to pull it back. Double clutch, wait for it to clear, and what a pass he threw to Austin. We talk about throwing receivers open, and we probably overuse that. He did that on that play, especially on the double clutch, because now he threw it to a spot where only Austin's going to get it, and Austin went out and did exactly that.
I'll tell you what, I was standing right behind that throw. I was so surprised he threw it. When I saw where it ended up and the catch, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable throw, like you guys talked about.
Nick Foles, that was impressive.
And give Benny Cunningham credit for delivering the huge block, allowing Foles an extra couple of seconds to deliver the touchdown pass. And now the heat is on. The unbeaten Cardinals still a long way to go.
Game is sponsored by Burger King. Kickoff ball with a new Oreo pumpkin spice shake.
All right, how about this touchdown play? Because it came off of a safety blitz. Here's where it starts. They take the safety out of the middle of the field with the blitz. Now freeze. Now you get the block by Benny Cunningham here. The route by Tavon Austin here because it's wide open in the middle. But how about Foles on the double clutch? Because Dayon Buchanan jumped in the air, took away a sight line. Foles double clutches on it and makes the delivery. Kind of goes back to his basketball days. A little pump fake. Because Nick Foles was a highly recruited basketball player out of high school. Pump fake, get him in the air, then deliver. Of course, Foles would have dunked it on somebody back then.
You're right. You know, we've talked so much about the Rams defense in the red zone against Arizona. Well, you got to mention the Reds offense. First 3 games of the year, only 5 times total in the red zone. Only 2 touchdowns. Well, today, 4 trips inside the red zone. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. A little more than 8 minutes to go. And feeling the heat, the Cardinals, for the first time in this young season. Carson Palmer has won his last 9 starts as an Arizona Cardinal. 16-2 in his last 18 starts. But for the first time, here week 4 of the 2015 season, not only is his team behind for the first time, as they were right from the first possession of the game, they are behind by 9 points with a little better than 8 minutes to go.
And for most of the year, the Cardinals have been pretty much running free, haven't they? Doing what they've kind of wanted to do, dictating with their offense to the other defense. Now today, the Rams have flipped that on them, and their defense has been doing the dictating.
Palmer, beautiful throw to Michael Floyd. He'll cover it up to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 22 on first down.
For all the hits, for all the pressure, Carson Palmer's still standing in there and throwing, isn't he? I mean, that was just a perfect throw. Michael Floyd.
Palmer has 26 career game-winning drives. He has 18 in the fourth quarter. 2 of them came last year. But of course his team is down 9. With 7.5 to play and back-to-back completions. Gaining huge yardage. This one to David Johnson to the 38-yard line.
And this is a dimension David Johnson's going to keep getting better at during his career. They can split him out and use him as a wide receiver because of his background in Northern Iowa. That's what he played when he first arrived on campus before they shifted him to running back. And if you watched his tape from his senior year, plug in the Iowa game. I think he had 14 catches in that one.
He had 141 in his career. He definitely catch it. Bunch formation to the top. 4-man rush. Palmer. Little high. Stopping the clock with 6:50 to go.
Yeah, Carson Palmer had plenty of time on that. No need to rush that particular pass.
Remember how we opened this game? Jeff Fisher said to us, what? Cardinals are doing great, but they haven't played us yet. And we kind of walked out of there going, well, you know, you 1-2, Jeff. That's a lot of bravado there, isn't it? Well, that's gone pretty well with his team, right? They bought into that, and they came in here with that whole attitude. They haven't played us yet, and they're playing pretty well today.
Blitz coming, and Palmer gets it away and nearly intercepted. He's fortunate it was not intercepted by Johnson.
Great play by John Brown, coming a defender after he knew that he wasn't going to be able to catch that ball.
And don't the Cardinals talk often about how their defensive backs run the route for the receiver because their coverage is so good? Flip that around, and Tremaine Johnson ran this route for John Brown, didn't he? And flipped it over to where John Brown, as you noted, Tony, he became the defensive back. And here's your bunch formation that we've talked about. We haven't seen as much of from the Cardinals today.
Last time he had 2 plays ago, they came the other direction. Blitz coming again. Crossing pattern. Floyd spins out of a tackle short of a first down. You got to go here. Don't go.
No ifs, ands, or buts. To me, this is a time that they would go, because otherwise it's a long field goal attempt for Cantizaro anyway.
That would be roughly a 51-yard field goal try. He's hit from there in his career, but that's the very edge. And on 4th down, look, we have 6 minutes to go. This could be the play of the game. You don't convert here. Rams get the ball with a 9-point lead. Palmer will convert the first down to who else? Fitzgerald inside the 20. They convert on 4th down.
If you're going to cover anybody, Charles, you cover Larry Fitzgerald in this situation.
Well, let's see how they shook him free. He's in the middle of that bunch. And they cleared with Brown and Brown. J-Ron 13 and John 12. They cleared by going downfield. And Larry Fitzgerald comes underneath. And look how he's going to protect the ball as he sees the contact coming.
Sounded like a law firm, the biblical verse. Brown and John 12. First down and 10. Palmer sacked, and the ball is loose. It looked like the Cardinal got there first to cover it up. And that's Lyle Sendline, the center, after the big hit delivered by James Laurinaitis.
Has he played a heck of a game today, James Laurinaitis?
All over the field.
Look at him coming through, kind of an X stunt, meaning he comes from one side to the other as the linebacker, and he boxed it free. He didn't just go in for the tackle. He went in to try and pop it free, and he did. And Lyle Sendline, the center, beats T.J. McDonald to the football.
Second down at 14. We're under 5 minutes to go. Blitz coming again. And looked into David Johnson for a touchdown.
This was a well-designed play because they got David Johnson right here working on T.J. McDonald, number 25, a safety. And McDonald is a terrific player, but coverage is where you would take best advantage of it. And they did. Johnson, as the running back, gets over the top, and what a beautifully thrown ball by Carson Palmer over the top of the DB into the arms of the RB.
That is a big-time drive led by Palmer there, including a 4th down conversion to keep their hopes alive. Palmer and the Cardinals score the touchdown with 4:38 left to get within 2.
And they give it back to their defense. But look at this. Good blocking up front. Clean pocket for Carson Palmer. And they got the isolation that they were looking for. Running back on strong safety. Clear and free. Palmer delivers. Johnson finishes. Gets lifted high by Jonathan Cooper, number 61, who came into today. So Cooper, 61, it's a big day for him. Former number 1 pick. Going to deal with Aaron Donald all day. Hasn't been easy. I think Cooper's hung in there pretty well.
80 yards, 8 plays, 338. And the first time today they've moved inside the red zone against this Rams defense and come away with a touchdown.
And you know, despite the struggles of David Johnson today, he had a drop on a potential touchdown, a fumbled kickoff return. Carson Palmer's not shied away from going to him, has he?
You're right.
He's bringing the young rookie along, showing confidence in him, and he's having a nice day. 4 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Even though he's had a couple of key moments that have been hard, Palmer still kept his confidence up.
So punch, counter punch. You have the Laurinaitis sack. You have the touchdown throw by Palmer. And now special teams dropping Cunningham inside the 15-yard line. So, you know, we talked about plays you have to make in the red zone. Here's a drop by Johnson. Should have been a touchdown the first go-round. And then during this 4th quarter, Jermaine Gresham right there at the 5. That catch would have been 1st and goal.
Would have been 1st and goal. And Johnson able to redeem himself with this touchdown catch here on the comeback. Carson Palmer staying with the rookie. not letting him take him out of his game. Now it's on the defense of the Cardinals to keep field position and stop the Rams. And if I'm the Rams, you can't go turtle here. You have to run offense.
Well, you got to believe a healthy dose of Gurley. With Harkey in front of him out of the I formation, they're starting. Yep, there's Gurley. Cuts it back to the inside and closing fast coming down the line, the veteran Frosty Rucker. Rucker's another guy that's had a nice game today.
Yeah, I was talking with Steve Keim, the general manager of the Cardinals, at practice the other day. He was talking about how Frosty Rucker has found the fountain of youth somewhere. And wherever he's getting a taste, I said, can you give me some directions to it? And can I get an entry key?
Did a tremendous job today of working from sideline to sideline, Frosty Rucker.
There's Steve Keim to your right in the glasses. Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Cardinals, to his right.
Gain of 3 on first down. Gurley, not much more than that on second down. So here we go. We are down to 3:40 and counting.
Here's
just across the 20-yard line.
Here's a big key, guys. Does Jeff Fisher allow Frank Signetti to put the ball in the hands of Nick Foles and throw it right here to try and pick up a key first down? Or does he say we're going to run it with Gurley again and rely on defense if we don't pick it up? Tavon Austin will be at the top of the half of the formation.
3rd and 4. Blitz coming. They let Foles throw it. And it is incomplete. Kenny Britt has not caught a pass all day today. So this Arizona defense delivers the goods on a 3rd down stop.
And the one question you would have on this is, you're going to finally throw it to Kenny Britt working against Patrick Peterson. The key play of the game, they take a shot at the #1 cover guy, and Peterson wins the battle.
Tell you what, that looked like a ball that should have been caught, though. Peterson had great coverage. That ball right through the hands of Britt. Here's Peterson from a 25 and run out of bounds across the 35. Carson Palmer. With a chance here in the 4th quarter with 2:51 to go to try and send his team to a 4-0 start. Remember now, you don't need the touchdown. You just need the field goal to take the lead.
And now you're talking about running offense to get in position for a field goal, as well as taking time off the clock to prevent St. Louis from having a great opportunity to come back at you if indeed you're able to do that.
This is where you learn a lot about your football team. You're the Cardinals. First time you've been able to deal with adversity in this young part of the year. For the Rams, can your team make a play to get to 500? Palmer throws, catch made by John Brown. That might be a penalty. Brown screaming for one, so is Bruce Arians. And no flag down. Johnson threw Brown all the way to Sedona.
What a catch. Still in bounds when he executes the tackle or the takedown. And I believe that's why there's no penalty. If they had gotten to the white, that probably would have been one. But it wasn't. Play goes on. And the Rams are staying true to themselves on defense, Tony. They brought the house on that last play.
Yeah, they're not backing down.
David Johnson cuts it back to the inside, lowers his shoulder and picks up 7, maybe 8 on first down. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Cardinals a field goal away from taking their first lead of the game. Well, this has been an outstanding game so far, Charles, and settling for all the field goals. Arizona inside the red zone. Ironic that now a field goal would give them the lead and perhaps a win.
And as the second half is unfolded, the confidence is being shown in the rookie running back, David Johnson, by Bruce Arians, the head coach, by Carson Palmer, the quarterback, has been remarkable. Because he's had his share of struggles today. They're giving it to him to run it now. They're throwing it to him. But can someone on the Rams do something we've seen throughout the game? Can they make one of those big plays? When's the last time we called Robert Quinn's name? Aaron Donald. But James Laurinaitis has played a monster game for them as well.
Need to get to about the 33-yard line would be a career best of 51 by Catanzaro. Cardinals like to do a lot better than that. And batted down, you mentioned Robert Quinn. There's a play. Got that right paw on it to knock it down. Second down coming up. And now 3rd and 2. I beg your pardon. That was second down.
And this is why you go to the Pro Bowl. Watch Quinn. He's in a three-point stance on the line of scrimmage. Gets upfield on Jared Veldier. Can't get any deeper to the quarterback. So he gets his hands up. That's just good fundamental defensive line play, isn't it, Tony?
Absolutely, absolutely. He feels the screen coming his way, knows that he can go and affect the play.
Arizona 3 of 10 on 3rd down. Fitzgerald has been the money man of David Johnson on 3rd down today. And it's a little high. A little high, looking to Jerron Brown. So now it is 4th down for the Cardinals. And it's too far for a field goal try.
There's Jerron Brown, 13. Takes it a little bit inside, breaks it to the sideline. He's there, but as Dom noted, ball a little bit high as Brown goes, and McLeod on the scene.
Well, with all the great things we've said about Palmer, deservedly so, that's a throw that's got to be on the money. That's a first down to give you a chance to win it.
And this gives him an opportunity for redemption. On 4th down. I think the Rams end up bringing a ton of pressure at him.
Here it is, play of the game, 4th down. And Palmer throws high, incomplete, and the Rams take over with 1:44 to go. He was well protected, it looked like, Charles, on that throw.
But it almost felt like the pressure that he sensed made him get rid of it, and maybe he didn't have to. Watch, the Rams will come up in here with that pressure. Nope, he had it, just missed on the throw. David Johnson, ball's a little bit high and wide on him. A few times you're going to see Carson Palmer miss that type of a throw. And can their defense get one more in for him to get the ball back?
Each team has all 3 timeouts, so it has to be a 3 and out, and they'll be spending timeouts after every play.
And you're going to run it here, I think, if you're the Rams, because you got field position on your side. Bleed their timeouts. If you have to punt it, you'll get field position in your favor.
Early into the open field, puts him over 100 yards, and he covers up that football as they try to strip it away all the way to the 35.
And that changes things drastically. A huge first down, a big change in field position. And just think, guys, Todd Gurley's still on a pitch count. I mean, they're not running him full out yet. But this is Todd Gurley emerging in his second game as an NFL player. Catches the ball. Look at him reading his blocking, getting into the 3rd level, all the way upfield. Look at him make the cut on Matthew. This is a guy who tore his ACL in a college game on November 15th of last year. And from the first half to the second half, Todd Gurley has announced that he's back.
Getting better and better.
Young man out of Tarboro, North Carolina. And there are a lot of folks who wondered about that draft pick. It's only one game. Boy, what a big game it has been. And now all he has to do is hold on to that football. A timeout will be spent by Arizona. After the first down run, 1:27 left. Well, this is quite a gauntlet this Rams defense is going through. They saw Ben Roethlisberger, who is as hot as anybody on the planet, going into the game last week. Of course, Roethlisberger injured on the hit by Barrett. Palmer, hot coming into the game today. They've slowed him down. And now they go see Aaron Rodgers.
Can I keep coming back to Jeff Fisher telling us those teams still have to play us?
That's right.
And I know we all kind of looked at each other like, okay, I get it, but... And today they're making it stand up thus far.
Second down. Gurley again breaks one tackle, breaks another. To the outside, going to stay in bounds. Boy, you get an idea there. The football savvy there by Gurley. Not only talented, but very, very smart.
Is that not the epitome of football IQ? There it is.
Eat up that clock.
We welcome those of you that watch Denver edge Minnesota 23-20. It has been a great game here in Arizona. Inside the 25-yard line where the Cardinals in 12 possessions their first 3 games had 11 touchdowns, 5 field goals, only 1 touchdown today. Todd Gurley, a year removed from tearing his ACL, not even a year removed, last November, has rushed for better than 100 yards in the second half alone. They hand it to him again, and he might find the end zone down the sideline, but again will stay in bounds and just falls down at the 8-yard line. Boy, what an impressive young man. Not only the running ability, but understanding game situations. That will put this one on ice, barring a disaster.
Because think about the transition from the college to the NFL. This run in college, which is a first down run, the clock stops anyway to set the change, so going down, maybe there's no advantage. He already understands, I'm not in college anymore. The NFL, I keep that bad boy moving. Terrific job by Todd Gurley. How about the offensive line, the fullbacks, the tight ends? Tremendous game for the Rams, getting their offense, which was slumbering. Boy, it's awake now.
Well, I mean, it was cruise control the first 3 weeks now for the Cardinals. But today they were challenged by Jeff Fisher's Rams, who go to 2-2. Think about the 2 wins for the Rams. You can understand why they think if they're more consistent, they can play with anybody.
And that's the key to them now. They cannot give back games that they should be winning. You know, beat Seattle, can't come back and lose to Washington.
So they've beaten the Seahawks, and now they've beaten the unbeaten, until now, Arizona Cardinals. 24-22 the final. We're back in a moment.